lovies, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a reading for this full moon in Virgo. Unlike the last moon reading that I did, this time for this reading I did not research the positions of the planets and the different aspects that were occurring during this full moon. I do know it's a lunar eclipse, but that's pretty much all that I know, and obviously that it's in Virgo. I kind of felt like I wanted to go in blind and just get the energies of the reading. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's start out getting our first oracle cards. I'm going to get 2 Moonology cards to see. All right, what energies are we leaving behind with this full moon in Virgo? Work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. And what energies and what are we manifesting with this full moon in Virgo? Your hard work is paying off. I love this. I feel like the sign of Virgo is all about hard work. I feel that the fact that this goat on this card is like facing towards the past, I think you could have been doing a lot of work to deal with some of the fears from your past and how they're keeping you held back. With Scorpio, this could be 8th house sorts of things, taboo things, shadowy kinds of things. If you have been trying to sort of get to the root of what keeps you stuck and work through certain fears, I feel that you're about to have some sort of a breakthrough. We have 2 new moons here, so it's interesting because this is a full moon, but we have this new moon energy, and on the back of the deck, interestingly enough, we have the disseminating moon, which is the moon that occurs right after a full moon. Almost like I feel like full moons are known to have a somewhat chaotic energy, and this moon is this phase of the moon denotes a time where things are starting to like settle down. The chaos is kind of like winding down, so a time when you've maybe just like found your bearings or something like that. So I feel like even if the moon in and of itself is bringing up some chaotic emotions, it could be bringing up some deep, some long held things. Maybe something about like, I'll always be a failure with Scorpio and Capricorn. I'll never like live up to my family's name. That can have to do with other people's money and parents and like the family line and things like that. I feel like with Scorpio. Capricorn, just almost feeling that there's something that you want to start that maybe you haven't been able to finish yet, or you haven't even been able to start it yet. Something like that, where something is holding you back from taking that first step with Capricorn. Something that's outside of your comfort zone, but it's something that you want. And it's important to remember as well that when we're dealing with a Virgo moon or even Virgo energy, like I always think about the axis of Pisces and Virgo, and we did just have that Pisces new moon 2 weeks ago. So that moon was all about getting in touch with what you really want, and whether you actually sat down and did some like shadow work or did some sort of like journal work or like just sat and like went within, or else like there could have been just sort of like things that forced you to see the reality of a situation and realize what you don't want, or things that happen to show you what you really do want. Like something like that could have just been happening in life without you having to be so like deeply like, what do I want? Even if you didn't take the time to really think about that during the moon, does not mean that things were not aligning for you to sort of figure that out in some other way. So if you have some clarity on that, I feel like the Virgo energy and the Virgo side of the equation is about now knowing what you want, is about figuring out what are the steps I have to take to make that a reality. And at least this first step is being highlighted here with what you're manifesting: a solution, a idea, some sort of like instinct to act and do something, because Capricorn is an earth sign. It's about bringing in this sort of water energy into the physical. This is Scorpio and Capricorn, as opposed to like the way it's Pisces and Virgo right now. And this is not an axis. an axis, I'm sorry, Scorpio and Capricorn. It's Scorpio and Taurus and Capricorn and Cancer, I believe. So, but it does have that, it's that same kind of an energy here. So very interesting. So let's go ahead and get some more cards, guys. So what are we leaving behind? What are we releasing during the course of this full moon in Virgo? We have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations and divine plan. And what are we manifesting? Oh, that's way too many. What are we manifesting with this full moon in Virgo? Plant yourself here. Integration, embodiment, grounded action. I freaking like love this. I feel like this really makes sense. So I feel like something that could have gone on during this Pisces new moon, or just like in the last few weeks, it's like you really could have, like I said, worked through some of your fears of maybe like admitting something to yourself or admitting something to another person. Like, listen, like this just isn't going to work. Like our relationship can't continue. Or like, listen, I have to tell you something that's like hard for me to say. Or like, listen, I have to like say this to myself. Like, I know I'm not happy in this relationship. Or like, I know I really like want to like apologize to this person. I want to make things right with them, but like I feel like I've ruined things. Like having certain realizations about what your heart is like saying to you and what you know you need to do in order to like move into the next phase of your life. And I feel like it's like maybe during the last phase of the moon, I'm just going to keep referring to that. But if you're not resonating with that, just in the last phase of your life, whatever. I clearly live my life by the moon. So that's how I like see the world. But, and I see time sometimes, but I know that not a lot of people like have that viewpoint, but probably if you watch tarot readings, there's a chance you might. So, okay. But, yeah, Anna, grandmother of Jesus, laying foundations, divine plan. It's like we made this plan. We decided what we want, seeding the light. It's almost like the light came in, like we saw the light and like that seed energy. It's like that beginning where we're just like, oh, look, and then plant yourself here. So it's like we just like had the seed in our hand of what we want to plant. Like we just figured out, like we got the seed. We went to the nursery, like we went to the greenhouse. What's it called? Like a plant store, Plant Depot. I don't even know if that store exists anymore. We went to Home Depot in the plant section. We like were like, do I want to plant roses? Do I want to plant like violets? Do I want to plant sunflowers? Do I want to plant whatever? And we were like, okay, this is what I want to plant. Like we got the seeds, we have them at our house. But like, unless we take those seeds and like put them in the soil and actually plant them and okay, yeah, water them and all that, but like how about like just planting them? Like that's like step one. I feel like that's what plant yourself here, integration, embodiment, grounded action. What would the first step be? So something like to take into account, I feel like there's like some big fears out of the way. Like you admitted something to yourself, or you admitted something to someone else, or you like got closure on something. You did something you were scared to do. I feel like you already have done that to some extent. So now like, what's the next step? I feel like the next step is kind of fun. Like it's not necessarily, it's not like the scary thing. I feel like the scariness is over. It's like, like think about how you're feeling. Like, are you feeling nervous? Like, oh, like this is some big obstacle to overcome? Or is this something like you're excited about? Like, you know what I mean? Like try to like work with your feelings here, work through your fears, work with your feelings. And if this is something that you genuinely want, like be happy about it, be excited about it, start planning it in an excited way. Like, okay, like if this new job I want to get, or like this new business I want to start, like what can I do? Like what do I need to get? What are the supplies? What can I go shopping for? What's the first thing I can start doing? Like apply for an LLC. Like that's exciting. Like, you know what I mean? When you're starting a new business or something like that. If it's that you wanna, I'm trying to think of an example. If you kind of broke up with somebody and you're like, okay, like you really weren't happy, your heart spoke to you and told you that you weren't happy, like you know, maybe like admitted it to this person, or at least admitted it to yourself. Maybe the first thing you have to do is like kind of break up with this person. Okay, maybe it's a little hard to get excited about that. But if you've already done that, it's like maybe like the exciting part is like planning, like, ooh, like your single girl life or your single guy life, or like being excited for the next person you could meet, like the next kind of person you could date, the fun dates you'll go on. Like you could start getting like an outfit for your next first date, for an example. Where's this person going to take me? Like what restaurant? Like maybe you could be like, oh, like, let me like take the bull by the horns, like make a reservation, like, you know, kind of like what restaurant would I make this reservation at if I did like want to pursue something, whether there's an actual person or it's just like a concept of like what's going to happen next. If that kind of thing isn't really viable yet, whereas like you've just broken up with somebody, so it'd be a little weird to be jumping into that energy like right off the bat, or it's in like the early stages for whatever this is representing for you, you know. But I'll just use the dating example, maybe just like trying to do some self-love kinds of things. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. You can't go around chasing love, but maybe you could sign up for a dating app, but in the meantime, start like, you know, trying to take care of yourself. When we're talking about, we're dealing with Virgo energy. Virgo is all about your routines, your mindset, your health, and your body, and fitness can sometimes come into play there. So doing some sort of like exercise routine, or doing, trying to eat better and just feel better about yourself and nourish your body and take care of your body. It's about like, no, it's not like the body, because that's more of like Aries energy, but it's kind of about how you take care of your body more so. So start thinking about things like that. How can you take better care of yourself? How can you employ more discipline in the way that it could maybe translate to these other areas of your life? If you're employing discipline with what you're eating and what you're putting into your body and your workout routines, you can apply the same principle to like a business you want to start, or to like a new way that you want to be and act in the world, or whatever project is coming up that you're like excited about. So interesting. Okay, let's see. Let's just get one more here. Oh, these are upside down. Sorry. Okay. What energy is coming through for the collective watching this reading with this Virgo full moon? Okay. That's too many. But look, North Node and Virgo. I like that. Okay. What is the energy? It's like stepping outside of your comfort zone. Thinking things you wouldn't do, doing things in your daily routine that you don't normally do. Like, it's a good time to let go of a bad habit. That's what I'll say. So again, if there's like a certain blockage in the way, maybe that you're, I don't know, a smoker, and you're just like, ugh, I just want to like have this out of the way before, I don't know, like maybe you're like having a kid or something. There's like a grandmother here. I don't know. I'm just thinking of like family lines and stuff like that. But all right, I need to like stop smoking before like my kid is born, or like I need to, well, hopefully if you're pregnant, you've already stopped, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're the dad, I don't know, something like that. Or I need to save money, or I need to like be more disciplined with my money, or I need to, I would like to be a little fitter by the time I like start dating somebody. I don't know, whatever it is. Whatever goal, like there could be like some bad habit standing in the way, even if it's just like watching too much TV. How am I going to start my own business and put in all this work when I'm just like glued to the couch? Like, you know, I gotta like, maybe have some new habits and like change things up a little bit, you know, have like this new zest for life. All right. So what is the energy coming through? Ooh, for the love of God. All right. It was the sun and the void, of course. Just one. What energy is coming through for the collective with this Virgo full moon, please? Okay, that came out twice. That really wanted to come out. North Node, life's purpose. I feel like wherever your heart is guiding you now, because this even like looks like a heart, and this person looks like, it looks like they're like bursting out of like the heart. Like, I don't know, just like almost like they're bursting with like, their heart is like a big prominent, what's the word I'm looking for? Is like a prominent factor in their life, I would say. And they're just kind of like, woo, like open to whatever comes next. I feel like even if it's uncomfortable. So I feel like that's what this moon is like pushing you to do. Like, yeah, we even have this solar eclipse revolution, and look, Aries, I am. So it's like, I feel like a lot of this is about across the board sort of discipline that you can apply to everything else. And the North Node is all about doing what is a little bit uncomfortable for you. But if it's like, if you're being led by your heart, you can trust that direction, even if things don't work out successfully, like maybe the first try, or it like ends up being a sort of failure that like ricochets you in a different direction, and that ends up being a success. So you never know how that's going to go. So hopefully just like trusting and taking that first step, I feel like is what Spirit's really encouraging you to do. So let's get more of a sense of what's going on with you guys. What's going on with the viewer? Oh, we have the Wheel of Fortune, but it's like kind of sideways. Yeah, being held back by these like devil tendencies, like things want to change. Like it's like that energy is present. This expansive like energy. There's like sort of like a lucky break, or there's something, there's like opportunities, and like you're, oh, Leo, you okay, honey? Okay. There's like opportunities that aren't being taken by like an indecisiveness here with the Two of Wands and the Devil, like a feeling that you want to stay planted where you are instead of like planting yourself somewhere else. So let's see what else. Like you can decide, like, and it's like, again, you're like, have the seed, but if you don't plant it, it's never going to grow into anything. It's just going to like stay a seed in your pocket, like a dream in your head, you know? What else? What's going on right now? The viewer. Okay, that came out in reverse. 7 of Pentacles. Okay, and I can see here with the 7 of Pentacles again, like, again, the 7 of Pentacles is all about like the harvest and reaping what you've sown and things like that. And if we're not sowing, we're not reaping. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like this is just a message that you need to hear, because I feel like almost like I said, there was this sort of like victory, or there was this sort of like emotional burst that kind of like, that's what I'm getting from this, that kind of propelled you forward like emotionally. And then it just maybe like the wheel got stuck, the wheel got stunted, the thread got caught in this wheel. It looks like she's like on like at the loom, like doing something, and it's like the crops didn't get planted. Oh, okay, that's way too many. What other energies are coming through for the viewer? The 8 of Wands. And we have a 3 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like the 8 of Wands is all about movement, but this card looks like a little bit stationary. It's almost like the vibe of like, okay, say you're like watching a video, like an exercise video, but you're not like doing the exercise. Does that make sense? Like a workout video, but you're not like actually doing the workout. You're just like watching it. Or you're watching like an inspirational video telling you to like, I don't know, clean your house, but you don't actually like get up and do it. Like, it's just like the idea is here, the movement is kind of, but it's like the movement is stunted. It's like kind of like an energy that wants to go, but it's like, it's being like held back by you, I would say. What else? Clarify this Wheel of Fortune. Clarify this Wheel of Fortune. Oh, the Knight of Cups. So, oh, okay. I feel like that was like upside down. I don't know why it was the 8 of Pentacles and it was like hiding. Again, the Knight of Cups speaks about movement. It could speak of a romantic gesture that you want to make, but also it could speak of just your emotions moving you. But it's almost like this knight isn't on a horse. Like, he got off the horse, like, instead of like getting on and like galloping off somewhere, it's like, oh, let me just like think about this for a minute. Let me like look back, like back in the direction of my fears, like back in the direction of the past. And it's almost like maybe I have more work to do, or maybe I'm not ready for this, or maybe I don't know, but it's like definitely like slowing down movement that like had a good momentum going. So I think the question to ask yourself is like why that is, and you know, to maybe question like, do you really want this or don't you? 7 of Pentacles. Because if not, like, there are steps that need to be taken that I feel like you know you're not taking. All right, let's see. Or even if you're like not, like maybe you can't take them yet, maybe there could be something else in the way, like a weight, like with the 8 of Wands, like there's kind of like a feeling of like, oh, I want to get to this next step, but there's like outside circumstances maybe, although I do kind of feel like, well, maybe that are preventing you from doing one aspect of it, but like there's other aspects that you can do. Does that make sense? There are other things you could try to like get things moving. We have Judgment, so maybe something that's holding you back is like a fear of what other people are going to say, or being condemned in some way, or being laughed at and like judged by your peers or by a potential romantic partner or whatever this is. Like fearing some sort of like ridicule, or like I'm almost getting a sense of like imposter syndrome with this. Like, who am I to do this? Like, maybe this isn't right. Maybe I'm jumping the gun. Something like that. So I feel like you need to like get over that. We have the Six of Wands here, and you need to realize that everyone starts off somewhere. Everybody has to try for the first time. Everybody feels like an imposter when they do something new. Like, it's new. It's outside of your comfort zone. Like, clearly being in your comfort zone led you to a place where you were emotionally unfulfilled, that you felt that you wanted to like expand into this next phase of your life and leave something behind. And you're unable to do that. Or you're having trouble doing that. So say you quit a job. This is another example. Say you left a job that you were really unhappy in, but you're like kind of procrastinating going out looking for another job because then it's like really real. And you kind of want to crawl back to your comfort zone a little bit, is the vibe that I'm getting. So I feel like you need to know and you need to trust your heart that you made that decision for a reason, and at least give it an honest try. Or maybe it could be a little, you know, remorse if you broke up with somebody that you want to like almost like crawl back to them. Like, you know what I mean? Something like that, where you're just like thinking about like the fears of the new life are coming up a little bit. I feel like, we did get over some fear of like admitting to ourselves the reality of the situation. Like I said, we faced something, but now like maybe like some new fears are coming up, but like you know how to work through them because you just worked through the last one. So I feel like that's also something that I'm getting here with the Eight of Wands. It's like, look at what these blocks are, like look at them individually and try to get to the root of where they're coming from. And like, let's get this wheel moving. Like, this is your life, you know, that's on hold here. What else here? We have the Moon. Yeah, there's definitely something hidden. There's something, I just, oh my God, started hearing there's something inside me that pulls beneath the surface. Okay, I try not to sing it when I'm saying it. It's from Crawling by Linkin Park. So I don't know, maybe you feel like you're, oh, with the Wheel of Fortune, maybe you feel like you're destined to have bad luck, or like nothing's going to go your way. Like you'll never have justice. Like you'll never have something go right. You'll never have something good. You'll always be fighting against, like things can't ever be easy for you. I feel like you really try to like keep these thoughts at bay, but they keep cropping up. But yeah, I feel like that instead of, like I said, we need to like, when these feelings come up, I'm just, okay, like, did I tell you that I shuffled a song for you and it was You Say by Lauren Daigle? I don't know if I said that, but I'm thinking of like the lyric in that song where she's like, I've been fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Okay, so I feel like if you're like going over things in your past, like mistakes that you've made and ways that you've like effed up, we also had the Six of Wands here, which is like a card of victory. So if we're looking at that, or if you're thinking people are going to judge you and be like, look, you did this, so you can't do this. Guess what? People grow, people change, people learn, and they become different people. They make different choices. You don't need to let your past like dictate who you are in the future, define who you are now. You can become somebody new. You can become somebody different. It's all going to be like kind of woven in here, like the old and the new, you know what I mean? And the old is there for a reason because you needed to learn those lessons. But now you're stepping into this new phase of your life where maybe you are going to have to leave some of those old aspects behind, but you don't need them anymore. I don't know, this Judgment card is like very prominent. I feel like you could be very uncomfortable with what other people are saying or going to say, or you could like what other people's actions has like a bearing on you, where like if they're being rude and judgmental, and it's like you take that on yourself or something like that. So I feel like Spirit's like, first of all, let people be responsible for their own actions. You take responsibility for yours and your part, and let other people do the same, period. We're not going to sit here and think that we deserve to get treated like crap and deserve to be chained up and like condemned here the way that this Judgment, I don't know if you can see it with the glare. Hold on, let me just go. Okay, got it. But do you see the way he's like just looking like, I deserve this? Like, no, you don't. You don't deserve bad things. Bad things don't happen to you because you deserved that. maybe you were making some poor decisions, or you did make some mistakes here, but like I said, like we're talking about, ow, sorry, I've just switched the way I'm sitting. As we're talking about, you learn from them and you're moving on to like bigger and better things. And like, yeah, we just need to relax, and we need to like change that mindset and just know that our heart is leading us in the right directions. Okay, so let's like grab some advice from my deck. Okay. The relationship you have with yourself is worth investigating. And I agree with that, because I feel like the relationship you have with yourself is like literally sets the tone for everything else in your life. Like I feel like I have a card in here that says that sets the tone for every other relationship you have, but not only your relationship with people, but your relationship to food, your relationship to like discipline, your relationship to hard work, your relationship to everything. So it's like, what do you tell yourself you're capable of? What do you tell yourself? What are your expectations for yourself? And can you make those like expand beyond what you've thought of yourself in the past, and like get it to fit in with this new life's purpose and this new goal that you have for yourself? And it says, forgive yourself. It's hard to see things clearly when emotions are involved. So maybe you did act in a way that you're not proud of in the past. Maybe you let somebody treat you bad and you're like having a tough time. You're like, oh, like I let myself get treated like crap. Clearly I deserved it, or I blah, blah, whatever it is, whatever you're beating yourself up for here. Okay. Like maybe you weren't seeing things clearly, but now you are. And all you can do is like move on with that new information and try to take the next step and just give yourself like blanket forgiveness all the time. Like be able to see that you're like, not like, that's not to say you should absolve yourself of responsibility and of taking responsibility and of making amends with people if you feel that you have to, or if the situation calls for it and it's appropriate. But we shouldn't be sitting here blaming ourselves. Be like, okay, like if it's impossible, like sometimes to like make up with somebody, like they won't talk to you anymore. Okay, you know what? But I did my best. I didn't see things clearly. I was very, you know, I felt very emotional and I acted in a stupid way. Or, you know what? I was very numb to my emotions and I acted in a stupid way, or whatever it is. Like, you know, like whatever you did, just be like, you know what? I just have to try to do better next time. And that's it. Replace why is this happening with what is this trying to tell me. Again, there's like kind of like this call to like tune into like the reasons behind like the actions you're taking and the things you're doing and the choices that you're making. So what else? What other advice moving forward? Oop. Regardless of how filthy your past is, your future is still spotless. Yeah, like that time was like well spent learning lessons. Like you can't like discount the past. And all that it taught you, because if you were starting out and like you hadn't made those mistakes, you would just do the same thing. Like, does that make sense? No one is responsible for your life except for you. But at the same time, okay, like if you go out like with this knowledge that you have now and do the same thing again, then okay, that's on you. No one is responsible for your life except for you. You're the one that needs to kind of step up and change things for yourself. Your shitty circumstances aren't an excuse to be a shitty person. Choose growth. Obviously, listen, there are terrible things that happen to people, so we're not saying it like nobody cares. But at the same time, let's be real. Does anybody really care? Like, you could sit there and say whatever, and maybe people... But no one really cares. No one's going to give you like $1 million and be like, okay, I feel bad for you, so here you go. Let's make things easier. You have to still do that for yourself, and no one can do it for you. If you want to get fit, no one can jump in your body and make you work out. Like if you want to start a business, no one can like, again, jump in your body and start like doing the work or whatever needs to be done. Apply for an LLC and like start, I don't know what business it would be, but whatever you have to do for that business, no one can like jump in your body and do that and start trying to get clients and talk to people and get your name out there and go practice and accept opportunities when they're presented. No one can do that. You have to do it yourself. You have to like be your biggest supporter and be your biggest cheerleader. Well, it's the same thing, I guess, but also your biggest ass kicker. Like, you know what I mean? Pretend Red Foreman, if you've ever seen that 70s show, like is going to come kick your ass if you don't do what you have to do. Like, you know, you have to have that like tough, but also like that forgiveness thing. Look, thought, why do we feel mad and disgusted with ourselves when we fail? Stupid for trying. We should stop. Like, you're not stupid to try something. If you fail, maybe it'll like lead you somewhere else that you didn't even know you were going to go. But there's all this stuff about filthy past, disgusted with ourselves, like, whoa, like what is going on here? I feel like there's like a lot of like, this is like kind of dark, like there's like a lot, and we had the moon here, so there could be stuff coming up where it's like, maybe you feel like that, you feel like a failure, you feel disgusted with yourself, you feel like you're dirty and disgusting and nobody, I don't know, there's like kind of like this vibe here, like filthy your past is. It's funny that those kinds of cards came, not funny, but interesting that those kind of cards came out together. Yeah, and instead of focusing on that, look, goal planning. What would success look like exactly? What can I research? What steps can I take? Exactly. And then take them. Like, no one can do that except for you. Plan all you want, but like, you have to actually like enact the plan. You have to put the plan in motion, you know? Oh, that's like way too many. I'm sorry. Oh, look at that. That just, oh my God, that's so weird. This is from my messages deck, but look, I'll never not forgive you. So maybe that's a message for someone. I'm done fighting this. I know what I want. Interesting. Like, and it's so funny because I just like flipped them over. Oh, okay. What's that? Mental stress tip. But I just like flipped it back and I wasn't even going to look at it, but something told me to look at it. And I don't know. So maybe that's a message that someone needed to see. But let's see. Oh my God, look at that. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just take the next step. I feel like just step one. Just take step one, whatever that is. Oh my God, look, what makes you most alive? Choose that. Like, this is beautiful. I feel like this is spirit just trying to like encourage you. Like kind of give you like, I don't know. I feel like something is coming up for you emotionally that's making you feel a little bit, even if this is something in the distant past, it's like kind of coming up again for you to like process through it. So I don't know if it's making you have negative emotions, that whole thing, I'll never not forgive you. Say you want somebody's forgiveness and you feel like you can't get it, or you just don't know. I mean, clearly, I don't know, that message came through of I'll never not forgive you. So I don't know, like maybe you feel that you've like hurt somebody or done something really bad, but I feel like that message came through for a reason. And even that You Say song, I feel like this person, like, it's like you're saying, like, when I feel like this, you're telling me I'm like this. So it's almost like a person that has like that self-loathing. Like, why do you even like me? I'm disgusting, or I'm this and that. Oh, what's an episode of Buffy? It's, oh my God, season 4. Who Are You? It's Faith and Buffy, and they're kind of like, I don't know, like they switch bodies, and then she starts like beating the crap out of herself and is like, you're disgusting. I just like thought of that, and it's like, because she hates herself. It's just like really sad and like very moving episode. But I feel like you could feel like that about yourself, kind of like you're beating yourself up. So I feel like maybe physically, I don't know, but or maybe doing something like physical, like to hurt yourself, in which case please don't. Please get help. Please talk to somebody. Please call like a hotline. I'll like list one below. But yeah, I feel like this could be really bad. But I feel like whatever you're thinking that someone doesn't want to forgive you, I feel like the feelings are probably that intense. This is what I was trying to say, because it makes you feel alive. Like you really, like your heart is maybe calling you to like make the situation right for whatever reason. Doesn't have to be romantic, but is just wanting you to like set this right, and you'll feel better if you do it. Like, what is the step that you can take? You can apologize. Like, you can send a letter, you can send a message, you can call, if it just specifically for this, or you could forgive yourself. That would probably be number one, and then number 2 could be like to move forward when you're ready, could be that. So all right guys, we're gonna leave the reading there. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a better day and night than it looks like you've maybe been having. I feel like things have been a little bit heavy, so I hope things get a little more sunshiny, because I'm getting sunshine energy with this card. So I feel like they can turn around, but you have to do it. So do it. Okay, thank you so much guys for watching. Bye.